I'm starting to think that Ebenezer Scrooge had the correct idea when dealing with his life. He celebrated holidays alone, he kept to himself, he kept everyone else out of his apartment. I mean, he had it going on for himself. Here in this film, a happy-go-lucky family invites their neighbors over for Christmas dinner, and the neighbors basically torture them to death. You tell me which one is correct. Hosts, released in 2020, is actually out today here in the United States, all the way from Dark Sky Films. And this film is starring Samantha Loxley, Neil Ward, Nadia Lehman, Frank Jakeman, Jennifer Preston, Buddy Skelton, and Lee Hunter. And welcome to the month of October, where I am setting out to do a bunch of horror films all month long. Whether these are films recommended by you, my subscribers, and my viewers, films that I just really watched for the Halloween season, or if they were recommendations either from a film studio or gingernutsofhorror.com, which we'll be getting to a lot here in this month, but this one actually came from an independent studio who reached out to me saying, hey, do you want to review this movie when it comes out here in the United States? So yeah, didn't know if I was going to be able to shoehorn it in here just before my 300th episode, which is going to be a treat coming up. Oh, just you wait. But I'm so glad I get to post this review as this movie comes out here in America, and it was surprisingly a ghoulish, scary time. On Christmas Eve, an innocent couple become host to a malicious entity. Throughout the night, they terrorize a family of 5 in unimaginably violent and disturbing ways. These demonic possessions mark the beginning of a worldwide supernatural takeover, and the family of 5 who fall victim to the first attack are the unfortunate ones to experience the start of this horrific epidemic. A dark and bloody insight on how lying to your loved ones can not only alienate them, but it can completely destroy the bonds you have with them forever. That's the official short synopsis from this film, and it sounds like there's a lot going on here, actually, within that synopsis, but really, there's not much. This is a very simple film, or at least it felt very simple to me. Yes, we have these weird demonic entities that are starting to attach themselves to a host. It seems like it's going on all around the world, but for this film, we are really just focusing on this family the night of Christmas dinner. And do these humans stand a chance against these demonic entities when they infest themselves into you? No, not really. But the stuff with the characters and the character development and the relationships here is the stuff that I was latching on to. They played host to me for this film. That was terrible. My main suggestion is when you go in to watch this movie, think of it as the very first Purge film. Yes, there is this big global, or at least in that film it was national, thing that was going on, an event that was going on, but really we are focused on this small family and the night that this big happening happens. I actually feel ashamed that I just compared this film to The Purge, but only in concept. There's this big, grandiose idea that's happening all around the world, but we are just kind of narrowing our focus in this film to just this family and the situations that are happening here in this house, not what's happening all around the world. I would actually really love to see sequels to this film, to get that global sense as to what's happening and how people are combating it. I don't know what you would call them, because this film is already called Hosts, so would that be hostesses? Or hosties? Couldn't be hosts too. That doesn't make sense, really. Does it? I don't know. But for me, the big selling point of this film is the acting, especially from Frank Jakeman, who played Michael. He's the big father in this film. He comes on screen and he has this teddy bearish-like quality about him that you're just like, yeah, tell me a story, Michael. His character was the most fleshed out, it was the most nuanced, he had the most character development out of all the other characters, which makes sense because the main conflict when it comes to this family stems from his decision, and I'm not going to spoil what that is because you need to watch this movie, of course. But then Samantha Loxley and Neil Ward, who play the possessed neighbors that come over, of course they just do a really great, creepishly demonic job. In particular, Loxley. When she's sitting there at the dinner table and just watching people eat and people tell stories about how they have diseases, you just see this joyfulness that comes over her face, and it was it was really great to watch, but it was also very creepy. Buddy Skelton, who is the child of this film, you know how I feel about children in horror films. They just ruin everything. Whether it's they cause the disease from happening, or they cause the group that they're with to die in the end of the film. He actually doesn't do any of that. He is actually pretty... his character was pretty tame when it comes to horror films, in my perspective, when it comes to children. So kudos to the writers for writing a child that doesn't actually ruin everything. Thank you very much. It's a trope that's just so overdone, and it pisses me off whenever it happens. But it didn't happen here. And this film has a lot of great horror and psychological thriller elements to it. Demonic possession films always kind of creep me out, so whenever I see it on screen, I'm always a little more timid than the normal person. But these demons actually seem very sophisticated for being demons. Of course, they do all the torture and killing things, but I'd say that they do it in a very sophisticated way. Maybe there's higher ranking demons. I don't know, I'm going off of Supernatural and Lucifer with that. You know, who knows? However, some of the killing and some of the horror elements are greatly foreshadowed and you can see coming a mile away. There's actually a point where the device used to kill a character is shown, like 5-10 minutes before the actual killing happens. So you know it's there, and you're listening to the whole monologue and you're going, gosh, something is going to happen here. It just, when is it going to... There it is. And I'm trying to decide whether that is scarier, knowing that there is an instrument of death in someone's hand while you're watching people just kind of go about their business, because you know it's eventually going to happen, or is it something that just kind of comes out of nowhere? Does that make it scarier? I'm sure it was played around with, and this was the version that they settled on. My mind is going to the other end. I think it would have been scarier if we would have hidden that element and then see it happen. I think that's just the critic in me, but this is a movie review. Just comment on what you see, Caleb. God, I was impressed with what I saw. There are certain aspects of this film that I'm like, well, if you did that, kind of would have fixed the problem. Really, I kept thinking to myself, well, this is a one-story house, and there are windows. You can go out the window. When these demons show themselves and they're taking over this family, they lock each family member into their own separate rooms, as if they were like pissed off parents, and these are their children, and they're grounded. So it's like, hey, go to your room, and no cell phones. Lay in bed and do nothing. Maybe it was explained why they did that. Maybe it's just something that I missed, but the entire time I'm thinking, guys, there's windows. You can just... You know? Isn't that what they teach you in elementary school for, like, fire safety? Oh, if there's a fire in the building, you know, break a window and then throw a mattress out so that you can jump out the window onto a soft surface. Come on, guys, you could have done this. There's also this really sad and sadistic element of this whole possession thing that starts happening when our heroes start fighting back against the demons, and when you kind of think that the consciousness is going back and forth between the actual person and the demonic entity that is inside of them. So it's like, well, what do? Do you kill the person who is hosting the demon, or do you let them go only for them to come back at you and kill you eventually? It wasn't really explored in this film. Again, I'm just picturing this is just the start of this whole franchise, and we need to get this going. We need to get sequels down the line. Again, I don't know what you're going to call them, but yeah, I want to see more. But a film that keeps me wanting more, but also keeps me a little satisfied on what I got, I mean, I have to give it a positive review. So I'm going to give Host 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
Alright everyone, this was episode 299, meaning that the next episode that releases on Monday is my 300th episode, my 300th movie review that I have done on this channel. I can't believe we made it here. I started this channel over 3 years ago. It's about 3.5 years ago, and I'm very impressed and happy with myself that I kept up with it and kept it consistent, and I've kind of slowly morphed into 3 reviews a week, which I never thought I would be able to do and have the mental capacity to do myself. So I can't thank all of you out there enough. Everyone who has subscribed and has shared this channel with your friends and your family, helping me build this community. I'm humbled, and I can't say thank you enough. This next episode coming up, it's not really a review, more of a reenactment of one of the greatest movies of all time, one of my favorite movies now and also when I was growing up. It was a lot of fun to do, so I really hope you enjoy it. And I want this thing to blow up as much as possible, so send it to your friends, send it to your family, send it to your classmates, post it on Twitter, share it on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever. Get this thing going, because I really want it to blow up and become viral. I really don't know how to do those things. I don't think anyone really knows how to do a viral video. They kind of just happen. Could we make this just happen? If it doesn't, it was still tons of fun. I've actually gone back to watch it many, many times just to make me happy. It's just the joy that you can see me having in the film. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So guys, if you have any recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, leave a recommendation below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter and leave your recommendation there. If I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. And if you really want to support this channel to help make it bigger than what it's been for the last 3.5 years, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do, and if you really want me to do your movie recommendation, you can attach your movie to your donation, and if I have access to it, I will gladly accept your donation and do your review as quickly as possible. So guys, have you seen Host that comes out today? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So I will see everyone next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.